everyone, welcome back to Tracie's Place. If you are new here, welcome. If you're oldie buddy goodie, welcome back. I want to get into something that is kind of touchy a subject for some people. And this is mostly for women. So if you are a man or a child, please exit out of this video. And also first, I want to say that I am not a nurse practitioner. I'm not a doctor. And if anything is wrong with you, please go to your doctor, to your physician, and get whatever it is diagnosed. And then that way you can choose which path to take. All right. One reason why I wanted to talk about these two subjects is because they are both dealing with something natural that so many people go through and that some people have and don't even know that they have. I also wanted to talk about it because the medical treatment that is prescribed is often harsh and is not always the best thing for you long term. So I wanted to just get into this. You may want to share this video also. If you feel comfortable doing that, please do that. Some people I know won't put this necessarily on their Facebook page or something. I'm not asking you to do that, but if you want to send it to some other women privately, like in Messenger or whatever, please do that, because some of the videos that all of the videos basically that I do are mostly to help others. I do some that are just entertainment purposes, of course, but a lot of the things like this I do to help other people, because some things people don't talk about, and it is imperative now that we talk about things, even if it's not in a huge group setting. We need to teach other women certain things, because certain things happen to us or befall on us because of a lack of knowledge. And so I just want to tell you about these two things. All right. The first one is H. pylori, and the real term for it, and I have my paper here, you guys, so it's Helicobacter pylori. That's the full name for it. And then the other one is Bacterial Vaginosis, known as BV to a lot of people. And both of these deal with bacteria. Now, everyone has bacteria in their body, and it's good to have bacteria. But there's a good bacteria and there's bad bacteria, okay? So while I'm going over all of these things, I'm going to refer to my paper because I'm not a doctor and I have to refer back to my paper for some of these terms and different things like that. So please excuse the paper, but I'm going to have to use it. As you all know, I got a colonoscopy and an endoscopy in February. It was actually on Valentine's Day. So I have been having some issues with digestional issues, basically. And I was feeling just horrible. And I'm going to read to you the symptoms of the H. pylori, or the Helicobacter pylori. Not all of these symptoms did I get, but a good number of them I did. Different people get different symptoms, and that's just basically with anything. But let me tell you what it is first. It is a bad bacteria. That's what Helicobacter pylori is. It's a bad bacteria. It causes reduction in your stomach acid levels. So a lot of times it's basically our American diet. It is basically our American diet. And I won't say just America's, because people all over the world have it. They have it in places where we just eat horrible, like here in the United States. Our diet is rich in, red meats, junk food, sugar, starches, and just everything. And we don't consume the amount of vegetables and fruits that we're supposed to. We don't consume the right balance of foods to balance out our body system. So we end up with a lot of different things, you all. And that's one reason why I wanted to make this video, is because the way we eat affects so many things that we end up getting, or so many different ways that we are feeling, and we don't know what's wrong. And a lot of things that we have, it could be heart issues, it can be gout, it can be oh my goodness, cancers and different things. A lot of things, if not most, start with gut bacteria. It starts in your gut. It comes from things that we eat. And things that we eat over a certain amount of time, if we do not correct it, we can get certain issues in our bodies. Okay, so the reduction of the acid in our stomach also causes our body not to digest our food properly, and so that, you know, nutrients can't go where they're supposed to go, and little things or micro whatever eat up things that they shouldn't versus things that they should. Everything gets all twisted up, and we just need to pay attention to what we eat. The symptoms are brain fog, bloating, fatigue, hot flash type nausea, heart palpitations, anxiety, constipation. Your bowels change constantly from loose to hard to everything in between. Belching and burping is an issue. Back pain, stomach pain in certain areas, and anemia. Anemia can be a factor of H. pylori. And I had anemia also, so I'll get into that later. But yeah, it's digestional issues. So with the H. pylori, just as with BV, and I won't tie them in together. They are separate issues, but they are still both bacterial, from bacteria issues. And some things that help both of these, though, I wanted to make, you know, a video on both of these subjects in one video, because there are things that help both of them. And a lot of times, if we eat right and take the right supplements, natural supplements, we can basically, you know, treat, and these are not to cure, treat, or heal any diseases, so I'm not making that statement. But a lot of things, as you all know, can help, and I have to be careful what I say because it's a medical issue. People don't like, in the medical community, you know, don't want you to say that it treats, cures, you know, all these claims. So I'm not claiming that, but I am telling you what I have used and what works for me. So that is a main part of this video. A lot of natural supplements do help, and one is colloidal silver, manuka honey, and probiotics. Okay, manuka honey, now that doesn't have to do anything with the BV at all, but what the H. pylori and the BV have in common is that colloidal silver and probiotics help. Both of those help keep your body regulated, your the bacteria and your pH levels and different things, helps to regulate them. So I'm going to set those aside. Colloidal silver, it helps with so many things. It helps H. pylori, which is what I'm talking about today. It also helps tooth infections, mouth infections basically, ringworm, sinuses, cold and flu, sore throats, UTIs, which are urinary tract infections, ear infections, and some other things. It is antifungal, so it helps with those types of things. And the probiotic just helps your pH balance, keep you in tune. Let me tell you what it helps. Probiotics for women. It helps vaginal health, urinary tract support, hormone balance, digestive function, and healthy immune system. Now, this is something that I think a lot of doctors do tell you is good to take, a probiotic. It really matters the live cultures that you get. This is a good one. It has 50 billion in there. All right, and manuka honey. I'm believing that I'm pronouncing it correctly. Manuka, I think it is manuka honey. Anyway, mine's is the Manuka Doctor, and it is a bioactive of 24 plus. Make sure it's New Zealand Manuka honey. That's where the originates from. That's where the most healing properties are, you know, maintained, that's the best place to get it is New Zealand. New Zealand Manuka honey. I got this from like, oh goodness, we have a place here that just sells everything. But you may get it at Whole Foods or something like that. You can look it up and see where to get it from. But 24 is a very, very good number. I think they said if you're just using it every day, you want to use a 10 plus or lower. But if you're using it to help you with a certain diagnosis, so to speak, or certain illness or whatever you're, you know, trying to help with, that you get 10 plus or more. So don't quote me on that. Do your research and look it up. But like I said, I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything, but these are things that I've researched. So I'm just trying to relate to you. But this is a very good bioactive number. And I got it for the H. pylori. Now let me tell you what my Manuka honey helps. It helps H. pylori. It helps ulcers, allergies, wounds and infections, sore throats, eczema, and acne, and more things, but those are just several. So like I said, look up all of these things, the Manuka honey, the probiotic, and the colloidal silver. Look up the benefits and look up the pros and the cons of each one of these. I'm sorry I'm talking fast. I'm trying not to make this a super long video because I know people don't like long videos. But I want to tell you as much as I can to help you. Then you start your own research. Okay, now Manuka honey is much better than regular just honey you buy at the store. This has medicinal properties, so to speak. It helped so much within the first, oh my goodness, day or two. And natural things do help. And these are one of those things that did help my H. pylori. And I could feel it like working basically almost right away. And over the next, you know, couple of days, that combined with the probiotic really, really helped. The colloidal silver I didn't take as much because I had looked it up and I saw that it was beneficial and everything, so I didn't take the dosage that they recommended because I didn't look up the side effects or whatever if you took everything at one time. Look at the benefits, look at the side effects or whatever if you take it with something else. See what that could do or whatever. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor. All right. But colloidal silver is very good. I think back in the day they had an issue if you took too much you could turn blue or something like that. But I think you had to take a overabundance, and I think it was if it was a bad like manufacturer or, you know, whoever made it didn't make it up to quite good specifications. But if you get a good one, and this is a good one, I looked it up, this is a good one, Silver Wings. It is a very good one. And you want the most purest, you know, that you can take. As pharmaceutical grade, and it's for immune support. So just, you know, look things up. I basically did these two together, sprinkled in here and there with the colloidal silver. But I can tell you that when I took this colloidal silver, it just made me feel better overall, period. So when I found out that I had the H. pylori, you know, I told you I was feeling really bad. I had a bad bout with brain fog. I would get up in the morning and I just felt horrible. I couldn't get going until like, oh goodness, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I felt energy coming. But before that, it was like I was just in a stupor almost. So the brain fog and fatigue was really bad for me. I felt bloated. I had one bad bout of constipation that just almost wiped me out. And that sent me to the doctor, actually. Yeah, I had a issue with burping, and not out loud around people or anything, but just at home. It was just like, you know, you know how you can control burping, so it wasn't like I was out in public just I could feel it coming, and you know how you mask your burps. But there was an issue with burping. I had back pain and I had stomach pains in like 2 areas, and then my bowels would change. So I had the heart palpitations. Oh my goodness, scared the mess out of me. I didn't know if I was about to have a heart attack or whatever. And I had anxiety. I would just get anxious here and there, that anxious feeling. And a lot of time, the anxiousness could come almost anytime, but the heart palpitations happened at nighttime. And I tell my husband, I do not feel well. You know, my heart, it would be racing, you all, like my chest, my heart was going to beat out of my chest. So, you know, that scared me, of course. But anyway, went to the doctor and they ordered a colonoscopy endoscopy for me because of some of the things that I said I was having. You know, at first it was just supposed to be a colonoscopy, and then I told him about, you know, everything that was wrong, and he said, we're going to do an endoscopy too. So endoscopy is that they put the scope in from the top, and the colonoscopy is from the rear end. So anyway, they had that done, and, you know, I was cancer free and polyp free because I had gotten a colonoscopy years ago, and they removed a polyp. This time, you know, I was cancer free and polyp free, but the endoscopy showed the H. pylori. So you can also get diagnosed with that, if I'm not mistaken, through some kind of a breathalyzer test at your doctor. So you can ask for that. I don't want people to get scared and think they have to have an endoscopy to diagnose it or whatever. If you're having some of these symptoms and you're like, oh my goodness, I was wondering what's wrong with me, I think you can just get a breathalyzer test, you know, at your doctor. But a lot of people have so many of these symptoms and they don't know what was wrong. Another reason why I wanted to make this video, like I said, is because these are general things that happen to a lot of people and people don't know what's wrong with them. But doctors prescribe these harsh medications, like I said. And for H. pylori, I was prescribed a triple therapy, clarithromycin based triple therapy. And I was reading the side effects and I was scared out of my mind. I was scared out of my mind. And because one of the side effects said, you know, death. And I'm like, okay, how you think somebody's going to just process that? And some people go ahead and take it. Many people have this issue. They said 50% or more Americans have this. Some people do not know that they have it because their issues are not that bad. Some people burp a lot and they might not have a lot of the other things. Some people may feel bloated and constipated. They may have this and they don't know, and they take an antacid or, you know, something like that, thinking, you know how some people pop Tums all the time, or, you know, take antacids or take this or that for this certain symptom that they're having, but they don't know that they never can get rid of that symptom. They just kind of mask it with what they're taking because they've never gotten to the root of what it is. So it's best to go to your doctor and have some tests run or whatever so that they can diagnose you. Then you can find out how you want to treat it. You can treat it with things that the doctors suggest or things that, you know, are natural. Natural medicines do, you know, work because I have, you know, used them and it has worked for me. So like I said, I'm not counteracting the doctors and, you know, all of that. I'm just saying what has worked for me. And then of course some of the medicines that they prescribe work also. But a lot of these that are prescribed, the issue comes back, and that happens a lot of times. That's what happens also in the BV or bacterial vaginosis also. But anyway, one of the side effects, you know, it was a whole bunch of them, but then it said, and ultimately it could just be death. And I know a lot of pharmaceuticals say different things, but when I got down and I saw just death, like it could cause, I guess, a heart attack and you could die or something, or I was like, okay, I can't, I'm not doing this. And I started researching on, you know, what else I could do natural. And that's when I decided to take just a few of the things that I found natural, and I combined it with other things that I found that are good to eat, and then stay away from things that I shouldn't eat, because a lot of the people that specialize in natural medicine, they were saying that, of course, it's a gut bacteria. So whether you're a medical doctor or a natural doctor, that is just true. H. pylori is a gut bacteria issue. It's a digestive issue of bad bacteria. So you can help to treat it or help to make it better. I'm trying to be careful about the words that I say by things that you eat and things that you eliminate from your diet. Pop is bad for H. pylori. Dairy is bad for, milk is bad for it. And I love milk. So that was hard. I still drink it sometimes, but that's hard. Increasing your, leafy greens, and broccoli is good for it. Broccolini is good for it. So I'm not going to tell you everything. Like I said, I'm not, here to tell you everything. Do some of your own research, but it's all out there. Just, do your research if you are diagnosed with this, okay? Don't start self-medicating if you don't know what's wrong with you, okay? Don't do that. But some of these things, they're not going to hurt you anyway. You should probably be taking a probiotic anyway. You've probably heard that everywhere on TV. You've probably heard it at your doctor and different things. Colloidal silver is very good. So just different supplements, vitamin E, B12, different things are just good for you to have in your system. All right, so that is that basically for the H. pylori. Now I want to get into the bacterial vaginosis. Okay, I had a bout with it that was very mild, and I didn't know what it was, and I'll tell you the symptoms of it. Okay, bacterial vaginosis, the symptoms are a burning or itching, a vaginal discharge, usually clear or gray, and like an odor. Okay, so, and I'm married, and I started taking birth control pills. And of course, I hadn't put none of this together, anything, but I had this like little smell, and I was like, oh, what is this? And my husband didn't smell it. I went to the doctor. My doctor said she didn't smell anything, and I said, well, I smell it sometimes. I was getting like a whiff of it, and here and there, especially when I went to the bathroom or something. And she did an exam, and I'm like, surely she smells it or whatever, and she said she didn't smell it. So evidently it was not a bad case or anything, but still the test came back that I had a case of that. It was from me taking birth control pills, and I'll tell you the causes of it. Antibiotics, multiple sex partners, or if you have a new sex partner, birth control pills, perfumed soaps, douching, steroids, and douching is really bad for you because it can lower your good bacteria and make the bad bacteria just really, really grow. Constipation helps to cause it. I don't know how, but constipation. And also you can get it when you get pregnant. So who knew? But anyway, when I first had it, I got prescribed an antibiotic. It's this pill. So I went ahead, I took the pill and everything. And then, like I said, it happened again. And I read the side effects this time because I knew I had been hearing for years that antibiotics, weren't good for you. And this is even back in the day. Like I said, when I was having kids, when I was first married and stuff. But even now, they're really talking about these antibiotics are out of control. So anyway, I read the side effects. And one of the side effects is leukemia. And I said leukemia. And that was that was the big side effect of it. As far as it had a couple side effects, I don't think it had nearly as many side effects as the triple therapy for the H. pylori. And just a side note, you all, how many of you all know of someone that has had this mysterious cancer pop up out of nowhere, kidney failure, liver disease, or different ailments? A lot of times we don't attribute it to things that we were prescribed years ago in those little sections of the pamphlet of your medication, and it says side effects. and says could cause this, could cause that, could cause blood malformations or kidney disease, could cause failure of this and that. And a lot of times we don't even pay attention to it. So please make sure that you spread the word as far as when things happen to you. Let your children know, let your daughters, your nieces, and different things know. And even, I hate to say and even men, but tell the men too. I know mostly women are watching this, but tell men too, because a lot of times men just take things blindly, of course, that their doctor prescribes. Some of them are just not as in tune with the safety of things sometimes. So make sure you tell the men in your life also. It's just a sad thing because things like this, the bacterial vaginosis, the H. pylori, mama has had it, big mama has had it, grandma, whatever, auntie so-and-so has had it, but they have not passed along any information. So pass along this information. So way back then, I got leery of just modern medicine. And, I tried, I started looking up something because back then the internet was not as, didn't have as much information as it does today. But I was able to find some stuff, and then the library had natural cures. So, and they had books even back in the day. So, apple cider vinegar and sea salt. That's what I did. Apple cider vinegar and a sea salt bath. And so I did those two in combination. I did like a little cis bath, what the seasoned ladies say, a cis bath. And what you do is you sit in a basin. And I remember even back at that time, it was uncomfortable for me. So I went, you could even go to Walmart. And I know they have them even nowadays because they have so many things, containers and stuff that fit under your bed, and just, the containers you get for moving, or the plastic containers, they're clear or whatever. You can either do a basin like something you get from the hospital, or some people were using the little dish pans that you can buy. But I was like, I'm not sitting in that. So I got like a bigger container that I could kind of sit and fit in, because you can do it in your bathtub, but you have to have so much water to come up to your waist. And if you just sit in something medium sized, it's more concentrated. You just putting your bottom in it, and you want to have it basically waist high. But if you're sitting in something about, I guess about this big, as opposed to a little cis bath thing, I just didn't like the little things. And that way I sat in it and came up to like my belly button, I guess. And you put hot water, not boiling hot where it burns you, but a good warm to hot temperature of water. And then about 2 cups of the apple cider vinegar and a cup of sea salt, and you sit for like 20 minutes, and then you change the water out and you do it again, or you can do it twice a day. You can do, I don't know how your time runs, but you can do for 20-minute little sits bath for 20 minutes, and then you can do it later on at night. Do it again. So you can either do it 1 time or 2 times a day. And stop having, sexual intercourse. I don't know if you all married or not, but you have to tell your husband or whatever, Of course, you've told him what's going on, so you have to tell him, we have to kind of stop for a while, about a week, and, try to take care of this issue, and then you can resume sexual intercourse. So, like I said, you do that for about a week, and you should be good to go. With this, it usually doesn't come back. Now, other people have done, because after I did this H. pylori, research and stuff, of course, I seen the bacterial vaginosis and a whole bunch of other issues that people are having. I was just looking up everything. There's natural cures, period. So I ran across other, I guess, new treatments that people are taking nowadays, and some people use tea tree oil and coconut oil. Some people use lavender oil, tea tree oil, and coconut oil in combination. Some people put tea tree oil and coconut oil, I'm thinking it is, on a tampon and insert it. And one lady was saying, if you all don't look up Chef Mama Rosa, that's Chef Chef, and then Mama Mama Rosa Rosa. Look her up. And there's other people too, but Chef Mama Rosa has so many natural remedies. I guess that's what I should have been saying. Natural remedy, not cures, but natural remedies. She has so many for so many different things, you all. And she's just a wonderful woman, just a wealth of knowledge right there. So look it up. She said get a natural tampon with no perfumes, no anything. Get it organic. I did not know that there were organic tampons. But she said get that and put the tea tree oil. You have to go see on her channel. Just look up Bacterial Vaginosis and type her name in next to it. And it comes up what she prescribes. But anyway, and with the bacterial vaginosis, you all, if you have that, and back in the day, I used ivory soap. Okay, when I started using the ivory soap for that area, I don't use perfume soaps anymore. So like I'll use the perfume soaps for my body, like Irish Spring, Coast, Dove, and I think Dove has an unscented and all that. Somebody said that Dove was a good one, the unscented natural one or whatever. They use it for down below, but ivory soap has been a staple from years back. My mother, that's what we used to use years back, plus Palmolive bath soap and all that stuff. But ivory soap is natural. It's basically a stripped soap. So that has always worked for me. Let's see. What else? So basically, yes. Do those 2 sitz baths a day for a week. Abstain from sex. Use ivory soap when you clean. And some other women were saying they don't use soap at all. So I'm not totally prescribed to that. So I use ivory. And then take a probiotic. And then, and this is up to you, but this colloidal silver does help for that, as I understand. So all this I didn't know about when I had it back in the day. I didn't know about all these things, but I'm now finding this out that, as it says on here, it's vaginal health, these probiotics, and it's gut health, just bacteria, period. Okay, so that is basically, I think, all that I wanted to take. Oh, your diet while you if you have bacterial vaginosis. Same thing. Cut out the sugars, cut out the breads. At this time, I didn't know about it back in the day when I first got. I didn't know about all this, but cut out the sugars, the bread. I did know about eating yogurt, so I think I did that. Cut out the dairy and the junk food and things like that. Eat healthier things like salads, greens, berries, and nuts. I didn't know that back in the day, but like I said, I looked this up now. Your fish and chicken and stuff like that. Try to limit your, red meats. Drink a lot of water. Now with this, I hear drink a lot of water, and I was told with this H. pylori, drink a lot of water. Water is good for everything, you all know. Drink a lot of water. Eat your fruits, but don't overdo it, because some fruits are still sugary, even though it's a good sugar. It's not a bad sugar. Some things is just better not to eat when you have certain conditions. And that goes for some fruits, as I understand. Okay. Oh, wear cotton underwear. Wear cotton underwear if you have been diagnosed with BV, along with these other things. And you all think that's it. I think that's it. Now, also, I've heard that if you were a smoker, that helps to cause bacterial vaginosis too. I've never smoked or anything, but anyway, and things that you eat causes it. you know, bad things that you eat. So it is important at the end of the day to have good gut health. Um, like I said, this can be for any condition. If you have a bad gut, um, and a bad digestional system, bad stomach health or whatever, it leads to so many other things. It leads to cancers, it leads to heart issues, it leads to like a H. pylori. It helps even with the bacterial vaginosis when you eat bad things. It just helps everything kind of go out of whack. So it pays to eat right. And that's one reason why, you all, I did not, you know, I started doing mukbangs and stuff, and I love to eat. I know I love to eat. But mukbangs, I love them and I'll still do them, but as you may have noticed or not, I don't do as many as I used to do, and that was because of this H. pylori. You can't just be eating any kind of thing when you're getting rid of it. And even though I had it, it's been, what's that, February, and it's, you know, it was back then, still I have to be mindful of what I eat. I have to eat a balanced diet. I still eat some junk. I'm still going to do some mukbangs, but they won't be as often. I might do them once a week, but the rest of the time I'm trying to eat better. So I know you see me do the candy videos, and you'll still see me do certain videos or recipes that I make. I love chocolate and all that. I'm not giving it up. I just have to reduce my intake of it, reduce the junk, even the milk, Lord have mercy, and just all of those things. So yeah, you all, we have to do better. And we have to be mindful that when we get these little ailments and different things, sometimes we go to the doctor and might not get the correct diagnosis, or we may just go try to self-medicate on our own when we have certain issues. But really, you all, just try to do research on your own about supplements, about things that you should eat, because really our poor diet nowadays is a big cause of everything. All right, so I'm hoping, that's why I had the paper here. I'm hoping that I told you all everything that I wanted to say, and forgive me for repeating if I did so or what have you, you know, the repetition, but I wanted to make sure that I got everything in there. All right, I even have my glasses on and stuff, so I wouldn't miss nothing. All right, but I love you all, and please don't be ashamed of this. I know a lot of people, especially women, certain things, like I said in the beginning, certain things just sound bad, but we have to tell each other things. We have to talk about things and share information. Our health depends on it. Our health depends on it. So, all right, I love you all. Have a blessed day. And I'll see y'all hopefully within the next couple of days with another video. All right. Be blessed. Love you. Bye. God loves you too. Bye.